Hi everyone, it's Katherine from Keenan Recruitment here. So following on from our Ask Us Anything, there was a question on how to choose an agency, and we thought it was worth exploring this a bit further with no other than Laura Lee, our agency worker turned recruitment consultant. So today I'm sitting down with Laura Lee to get an insight on her experience as an agency worker for over 10 years.
Hi, Catherine. Hi, everyone who's watching this video. I'm really glad to be chatting about my experience. Wow, Catherine, 10 years sounds like a long time. I think I've just aged about a decade when you said that. So yes, I've used agency several times, been a bit of an agency flirt, you might say. So I've tried a few, more than a few, and now working for an agency. So I've kind of seen it from all directions. My first experience of agency was when I just graduated university. So I was pretty much out of the womb and into the workplace, as you might say. Couldn't wait to get started. So for me, I must have spammed my CV to every agency out there. You know, it was click, click, click. And I was very much first come, first served. Who could get me the job? Who could get me in? How I could get those pounds and pence into my bank account as quick as possible. So I wasn't as picky as I probably could have been, but I had a really great experience. Got a job, got working, and really it went from there. Loved it. It was really flexible. I was able to kind of try different things that I wanted to do and explore the opportunities available to me. Following that, then I was an agency worker again following a redundancy. So this was a wee bit further along in my career, and really what I was looking for there was around career progression. So building on the experience I had, and for me, it was about trying to find the right consultant that knew what was out there, knew what was happening in the marketplace, and knew what clients were looking and where I would be a good fit. So I didn't have to rush in at that time. I did have a wee bit of flexibility there. And again, agency was great. However, one of the things was I did feel like I had to put my life on hold a bit with the fears around not being able to get a mortgage. But I really wanted to get, my job was a priority, my career was a priority. And it was about getting, career progression really for me. And then the third time that I used the agency was actually when I was looking for permanent work, something that was going to give me different options, business development experience, and to try new things. And the agency that I worked with there was really helpful in signposting me to Keenan, funny enough. And I've been with Keenan nearly 3 years now. So it's definitely something, having walked in the candidate's shoes, I found that's been really helpful, sort of understanding the agency from the consultant's perspective. So there's a bit of a me in a wee nutshell there.
Yeah, and those are very important stages of your career. I mean, you covered there from graduation right the way through to landing permanent work. So within Keenan, what we find is we promote that Keenan is a candidate-led recruitment agency. So from your experience, how do you think that we match up to that persona?
Yeah, I really do think it comes down to being candidate-led, and the main thing with that is listening. Whenever I joined Keenan, it was very much around listening and learning from the experienced consultants that worked in the business, and listening to the candidates. A lot of our candidates, when they're coming to Keenan, they know what they want, and if they don't, they really are looking for you to tell them what options are out there. So being, I suppose, candidate-led for me is about listening, being collaborative, finding out if you don't know what opportunities there are, how's the candidate going to know? So investigating the teams that will be placing people in, getting feedback when people are, moving in and moving on from placement is definitely really important. And as well, the benefits for working through an agency for me were around flexibility, opportunity, and career progression. And that's something that Keenan definitely offer with the range of flexible placements, the fact that you've got NHS, private sector and third sector opportunities, and the fact that it's one application and that covers you for everything that you do through the agency. So for me, that's really important as a candidate, that you're not having to repeat yourself, that you're not doing it on your own, and that there are benefits to working through an agency. Back whenever I was an agency worker, the agency worker regulations weren't even in place. So you could be getting all sorts of different pay scales, the fact that you've got pay parity, you know, the same terms and conditions for permanent staff is really important. The fact that you can access statutory holidays, statutory maternity, paternity, and adoption leave, and sick pay has been really, you know, some of the great developments. And Keenan very much were at the forefront of supporting temps to be able to not have to put their life on hold. So our financial health and wellbeing package has been a great development that we have made through Keenan, where you can get free independent financial advice in order to secure a mortgage. So that's definitely something that I haven't seen out there before, and would have been very much interested if that was around whenever I was an agency staff member. And as well, the staff here, Keenan, the wider community of Keenan as well, they are very supportive to each other. And that's something that I think can get lost. You know, before it would have been a very much a them and us scenario between permanent and agency. And I think it's definitely a lot more collaborative and a lot more working together. And that's something that Keenan very much promotes.
Definitely. And you touched there just on the support that you get at Keenan. Could you tell me a wee bit more about the development of the buddy system Keenan actually has in place?
Yeah, so Katherine, the buddy system is a fantastic resource, and really it comes down to it's people talking to people, and it's getting people who have walked in the shoes that you're maybe sitting in as a new candidate. So for example, if we are placing someone in a new team, we will link them in with Keenan workers who've maybe worked there before, maybe been on placement there, or who are currently working in the team. And that can really come down to getting a bit of help with timesheets, finding out, you know, a bit about having someone to have lunch with, where are the tea and coffee facilities, you know, where to park, you know, where has a nice coffee. It's very much around that, but also it has a deeper side to it as well. So if someone in the team is maybe having a difficult time or has been through a difficult experience, you can link in with other members of the Keenan team who've maybe had a similar experience and get a bit of peer support around that. Absolutely. And what we find there is having that peer support prevents, you know, placements breaking down, it builds resilience, and also just really reinforces the wider Keenan community. And we even see that in our charity partners. So we do a lot of fundraising and raising profiles at Keenan, and it's really great to see even on our social media, people liking, sharing and getting involved and actually encouraging us, you know, to do new things like this video.
Yeah. And I think it is those finer details that definitely resonate with candidates coming through. And Orly, thank you so much for sharing your experience. I know everybody's experience can be different. And at the minute, there's so many agencies out there to choose from, so it can be really overwhelming. For those of you that are watching, if you want to check our testimonials out, you can do, and they'll just give you an insight of what it's like to work through Keenan. We're also offering one-to-one consultations with our recruitment consultants if you want to find out a bit more about what posts or opportunities we have available, or if you want just to chat about what it's like working through agency. Please get in touch. Our number is 02890447144, or you can email info@keenanrecruitment.co.uk. I think today has been really, really helpful for those who may be in the position that they are trying to choose an agency. So thanks again for your time, Orly, and yeah, any questions, let us know.
Thanks so much, Katherine.